So the next thing we're going to talk about is global climate change. Climate describes a region's average temperature, precipitation, humidity, and solar radiation. Global climate change is changes in the Earth's climate pattern. The two key conclusions of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change was that global climate is getting warmer. Most of that increase in global temperature is due to human activity that releases greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. Mostly caused by the burning of fossil fuels, things like coals, oil, or natural gases. Greenhouse gases include things like carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxides, and chlorofluorocarbons. These gases trap heat in the atmosphere. They allow sunlight to pass through the Earth, where it is absorbed and then radiated back into the atmosphere as heat, which is really nice, keeps the planet nice and warm, but with the increase in greenhouse gases, we're starting to see an increase in global temperatures. So here's sort of how it works. We have solar energy shines down on the Earth, radiates back up from the Earth, and then it gets trapped from the outer layers of our buildup of carbon dioxide in the stratosphere and bounces back down. So we're seeing that we're kind of getting heated twice. Solar energy comes down, goes up, comes back down again. And so that energy is being absorbed as heat by the Earth. And it's causing the Earth to increase very gradually in temperature. Global warming and greenhouse gases continued. There are some possible consequences of global warming. The melting of the polar ice caps could cause rising sea levels, the flooding of coastal cities, warmer oceans, changing in weather patterns. Warmer oceans may fuel more hurricanes, altered distribution of climax communities, negative impacts on human health. And so there are certain things that can be done about this. A lot of this is caused by carbon footprint. Carbon footprint is a measure of the amount of carbon dioxide entering the atmosphere due to a person's or a nation's daily activities. So it's important to reduce your individual carbon footprint, but specifically for nations to reduce the global carbon footprint as a whole. They can do this by a couple of things, by reducing reliance on fossil fuels. That's huge. That's so huge. Not only is fossil fuels putting carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, the burning of, but also the obtaining of fossil fuels. The obtaining of fossil fuels is so destructive to the environment, often results in deforestation. And plants and trees are responsible for pulling. There are carbon dioxide sponges. They take that carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere. They turn it into glucose and oxygen. It's so important that we keep our trees. It's so important that we maintain our massive swaths of ecosystems that are hugely contributing to absorbing that carbon dioxide out of that atmosphere. It's so very important. So it's important, reducing that reliance on biofuels is a huge key, or on fossil fuels is key. We could do this by relying more heavily on biofuels or nuclear energy or hydroelectric power. All of these can help reduce the reliance on fossil fuels. So here is just a diagram kind of showing how human populations and human activities can affect climate change, and what those possible outcomes might be. So spend a little bit of time looking at this diagram. Oops, there we go. And that's going to be it for this section.